Thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries hotline. You've reached Anthony. Leave a message after the beep.
Hey guys, it's John here. So I just finished listening to your Twisters episode. I'm surprised none of you brought up the fact that the movie teased us that Helen Hunt was going to make a cameo in it. Like that's how I felt anyway, because Kate, Daisy Edgar Jones, is styled to look exactly like Helen Hunt's character from the first movie, which really annoyed me. Also, I agree with Joe that like the technology in the first movie seemed more plausible than this one because they introduced two technologies, the scanning machines and Kate being figuring out how to like destroy tornadoes. But I was like, this is a little too fantastical for me. Anyway, thank you all for the episode. It was fun listening to you. Chat soon. Bye.
Good evening. This is Beards and Sundries Podcast News, your one-stop news shop every Sunday, with your host, Jay. Another host, Anthony. And another host, Joe. We're your Beards and Sundries hosts and news anchors for Season 5 of Beards and Sundries.
And welcome back to the Beards and Sundries News Network.
What's happening?
You heard it here. Probably not first.
You heard it here, 32nd.
But that's right, guys. It is time for another lunch break / newscast here at the Beards and Sundries Market / studio, the shop / news studio where three gay men with beards / gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
Gay anchors with beards.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Jay, and summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
So that's a bingo square, right?
That is. Technically.
That is technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
It was the important drama that we needed.
Perfect. Well, I'm Anthony, and while I do love a PSL, I'm really looking for them DSLs.
Dick sucking lips.
Those are the ones.
Yeah. And I'm Joe, and there isn't a bigger tease on the planet than a weekly weather forecast with temperatures dancing their way down to the 70s.
Oh, bitch.
Yeah. You like that?
I've been taking
too.
Reggie on walks in the morning, and he doesn't run out of energy because it's like so cool. I think it just energizes him more, and so he bounces around, and his little ears are flopping, and he's just like, and I'm like, okay, I have to go to work, bud.
It's the time of the year. I officially took a flannel this morning to work and left it at work because it wasn't cold when I left.
And I wore shorts to work like I will every day, forever and ever and ever.
You're that guy that we all saw in high school where there's a blizzard out, and you're in your hoodie and shorts.
Yep.
And
I've
you're
been
like,
that guy since high school.
not cold.
Well, we'll
more
talk
legs.
more about that, but all of that is to surmise that today's sundry item is the end of September. Beardos, it is almost time for the best month of the entire year, and these shop clerks / news anchors couldn't be more excited. September is one of those months that flies by while also dragging slowly at the very same time. But today we are going to celebrate the transition from September to October, and after the break, we look forward to what this October has in store for us. Even later, after a word from our week's sponsor, Anthony has something fun for us to check out this week. But before we break out our sweaters and our spoopy Halloween decorations, how about this week's voicemail?
A few notes.
John!
You are correct. The technology in this one is far less plausible than the technology for the first one.
Oh,
honestly,
the first one was real.
I really thought, like, in the first one, I was like, yeah, I could see that. Little sensors that you got to be nearby with little plastic soda cans on top.
Yeah.
I mean, have you touched a cut soda can? Those things are sharp as hell, which means they have some sort of sturdiness to them. But little sensors that are going to give us all of that data, as long as we have 3 of them set up in a little radius. I mean, I get that that is a real thing to some degree, but not that intensely. And then sucking the moisture out of the tornado. Diapers.
Literally giving the tornado a tampon.
That's the part that gets me. Is it's just not logical. I mean, maybe it is, and I'm just stupid. But
I need a super
If that
cut.
was the answer, we would have figured it out by now.
If
Because
that
you
was the
said-
answer, then it would have collapsed, and every time it hit like a Walmart or something, it'd be like diapers.
The tampon comment, Joe, got me thinking that I need a supercut of the original Carrie movie where they're in the girls' locker room at the beginning and they're like, plug it up, plug it up. And then it just keeps cutting to like clips of Twister where they're trying to like release the stuff into the tornado. Plug it up, plug it up.
For me, it was just that technology that they introduced. It was just putting it under the veil of, like, it's military technology. That's just a little too easy and convenient for me.
Though, that is kind of true because some technology we use in the military first, and then it gets released to the public, and so it's not necessarily an untrue thing. But
So we're using diapers in the military.
They should be. They should be.
Snipers definitely use diapers,
Well,
not just because it rhymes.
Snipers definitely use diapers.
Snipers
The
get
t-shirt
diapers.
potential.
I was like,
Hey, sniper, you want a diaper?
our last commander in chief used diapers, so it would make sense.
He's still using them today.
Yeah.
our current one
current
probably
one.
uses them.
That's true.
God.
Do you think he does? I don't know. Depends.
I'm so tired of being here. But all of that is to say, John, I think that we all 3 agree with you on all counts of this. I didn't think that they teased a Helen Hunt appearance necessarily. I would have thought that if they had Helen Hunt in the movie at any point in time, given the cast that they were working with, they would have put her in the previews. Because while Kiernan Shipka and Chad Bradwell, whatever the fuck his name is, are relatively famous in their own rights, sure, Glenn Powell, I don't know, that's Chad Bradwell. At least Kiernan Shipka is a real person to me.
Yes.
But everybody else is sort of like, meh? They're not really in other things.
She would have
And
made an
so-
appearance in the trailer somewhere.
Yeah, I think they would have probably not just let it stand on the name of the movie. They would have put her in there.
Although I will say, I wish they would have done like I don't know, your aunt thought you were destined for greatness, and it like points to a picture of her on the wall or something. Just like, I don't know, just
That would
some
be really
kind
good.
of tiny little mention.
Your second
just
cousin twice
something.
removed wants to see you
Yeah.
succeed, and then like, pans
She goes
up
back
to Aunt.
home, and her mom's like, well, I didn't know what you wanted me to do with all this stuff. She's like, you could just throw it away. And she'd be like, your great Aunt Meg would be so unhappy
Yeah.
with you. And
Something.
then points to Aunt Meg. Then your other aunt, Dr. Helen Hunt, and then point to her on the wall. You know,
Dr. Helen Hunt.
Dr. Helen Hunt. Dr. Helen
e-
Hunt, whose character's name I can never remember for some reason.
Or
Joe
even if they had
something.
like a little locket with Bill Paxton in it.
Oh my God, I know. Also, unrelated.
But I thought the old lady threw it in the ocean at the end.
Well, baby, I went down there. I went down to the water
tornado.
spout. I got it for you.
Sorry,
I got
wrong
sucked
Bill
up in a
Paxton
tornado
movie.
for you, and I got it for you.
Oh shit,
The old
wrong
lady
Bill
threw
Paxton
the
movie.
F5 at the end.
Or no. You open the locket, it's Bill Paxton from Titanic, and then like the stories combine, and now it's Tornado Titanic.
Bill related, but not Bill Paxton related. Did you know that Bill Pullman has a son? And he looks
feel
like
like
a young Bill Pullman.
I feel like I did know that, but I didn't really
He's in an
retain it.
upcoming movie that I saw. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I saw his face and was like, is that Bill Pullman's son? And I looked it up and it was.
I knew Dennis Quaid had a son.
Well,
Is it
yeah,
Lewis Pullman or
obviously.
Jack Pullman? Lewis Pullman?
I think Lewis Pullman.
It's Pork Pullman.
Shut the fuck up.
Pork. Yeah,
Pulled porkman.
because I remember being like, oh, that's interesting.
Anyways, Joe, do you think that I could find diaper debris in the sundries aisle?
Thank God, finally. Yes, you can find diaper debris in the sundries aisle, but
No
if
moisture.
you're new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now today it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as three Octoberific gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
I just realized we could use that powdered diaper material to soak up all of Jay's spills in aisle 4.
No,
Like that kitty litter stuff that they use at schools.
Same idea.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, except probably a lot more expensive.
You know, they could have just gone cheaper and used sawdust, because that also absorbs moisture.
Can you imagine? I'm just out
could've
there
just-
letting mulch up into the fucking...
They could have just used Midol and some chocolate. It has the same effect.
I like the delay for a moment.
Yeah, because you're
put-
gay, so I expected it.
You can put my CPAP in it, but with all of the like moisture turned off of it, because it leaves my mouth dry as fuck.
Oh no, this is distilled tornado.
At
You
least
can't
I
use
won't
mineral
get
water in this
infected.
tornado.
Oh god.
Oh, man.
I am so I like the end of September because it does mean we're getting into October, November, December, but like
Yep.
it did sort of like it's such a nebulous month. There's just not much happening. Even though Labor Day happens in September, I never think of it as a holiday month. I never look forward to Labor Day. It always sneaks up on me. And then
A day off.
but then like all of the fall stuff is starting to happen and I keep not realizing it. And so like I'm not going out to get my pumpkin spice latte just yet because it's still September and I forgot that it was out.
Yeah.
You know when you're reading a book and you're on the end of the page and you're like holding the page ready to flip
Yes.
it?
Uh-huh.
That's how I feel
Yes.
like September is, because you know that it's just about to be that comfy weather where you're like, do I get a cardigan, a sweater? Oh, I walk outside and it feels better. But like, especially in Oklahoma, we keep having these lingering hot days and
know.
kind of often near to the end. So it's like your anticipation of this weather's coming and it's right there. You know it's coming. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm like holding the page of September to flip it.
It's a
That's
little
why
bit
this is
like
such a fun transition, because it is so a thing that you're waiting for to happen every time.
that's true. It's a lot like how in bed Lexapro makes me take forever to orgasm. And it just sort of it just keeps lingering, you know. You
It's
keep
just you holding the
expecting it,
page.
but, and it just
Come
keeps
on,
not quite
October,
happening.
come on.
Oh, God.
And everybody's face is the same too. If they're, they're just fucking tired of it and they're ready to get to October, but you still got a little September left.
Well, and you're
so
just
already-
there
Keep
still
working it.
busy with yourself, and you're like, come
Yep.
on. And then you keep hearing Tim Curry in the background going, anticipation. And you're just like, come on.
All I can think of now though is fucking Brennan Lee Mulligan. Chain, what is it? Chain wallets.
Wallets. God. I need to go watch that again.
Oh God.
Shirts with Jack Skellington, you bony boy.
Boy.
That's when he's talking about Hot Topic, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It's Tim Curry advertising or something for Hot Topic.
He does like an advertisement for Hot Topic. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really fucking funny.
Jane Wallet.
Chain wallets. And something brought back the entire chain with Has-Been Hotel. The surprise success of Has-Been Hotel.
Yeah, it just rolls right out so easily, and I'm like, come on, like I wish I had that ability.
Well, there's something to be said for people who have spent their entire lives abstaining from things like alcohol, so they haven't had to endure the mental decline the rest of us have.
Oh, great. Speaking of, anybody feel like having a drink after this?
You go have fun.
I'm going to drive up to Tulsa and have a drink with you all. No, I'm kidding.
Well, right now I'm drinking a Old Keg Premium Butterscotch beer for all ages, non-alcoholic, 12 fluid ounces. It is delicious. It tastes just like butterbeer from Universal. I almost said Disney. I was like, ooh, get your franchises right.
You may say all ages, but if there's a child standing between me and a bottle of this butterscotch beer, that child's getting pushed over.
Do not give this to your child because there's a lot of sugar in this. Not because it's bad for them, because you just don't want to deal with your child after they've had that much sugar.
Oh!
That's kind of like
46 grams of sugar in a bottle.
I was like, that's kind
Don't
of like
say
orange
it.
soda. Orange soda was the first time that I was like, this is delicious. Let's check the health on this. I know it's not I know it's not good. And
It's not good.
I was like, oh my God, the sugar on this is substantially higher than regular soda. And I'm like, ooh. So I kind of stopped drinking it. I never made a habit of drinking it, but I really
This is something I could enjoy once in a while, but if I had more than one, I feel like it would probably be a little too syrupy.
Yeah.
Oh, diabetes.
Well,
Yeah.
Jay, and then bringing up orange soda, I mean, this could all be avoided if we would just bring back Orange Slice from the dead.
Oh, bitch.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
soda was different because it had orange juice in it. So it was orange soda, but it also actually had 100% orange juice inside. So that's why it tasted so much better.
It was just better. It was just better because
Yeah.
of the name. I don't know what was
Yeah.
good about it. It was just delicious. They put crack in there, and it was really
The
awesome.
90s and early aughts were such a better time.
Yeah.
I like to think, and except like technology has gotten so much better. Except, has it?
Laughs in Fruitopia.
Oh no! I love
Literally
Fruitopia.
I was debating bring that up. I'm like, I just remember like the Fruitopia machine in high school and how
Yep,
I was in
we
that
had one
thing
too.
all the time. Like every
We
high
had-
school had
oh
it.
my god. I had peach papaya Fruitopia or Mountain Dew Code Red almost every day because it was like
Ugh.
the cool thing to have a drink beside your chair by your desk.
Yeah. And I remember I used to drink Mountain Dew Code Red like religiously. And one time my number twos started turning red. And
My whole brain was like, number 2 pencil?
and I got so scared that I immediately stopped drinking it, and I don't know if I've ever had a Code Red since.
That sounds like a fun experiment.
And it like nowadays, I'm like, I know that you would have to drink a substantial amount to even do that again. If that was the reason, I probably was just internally bleeding at the time. But
I don't know. I feel like
Or I had a
mid-thirties,
hemorrhoid.
Jay,
Fuck if I
if
know.
you had a Code Red today,
See?
that you would
You
just
never
die
know.
immediately.
Or there's that.
I today, if I was like, this Code Red is delicious.
It'll be like
That's how
the
you
person
die?
that you killed in last week's episode.
I haven't even finished that episode. I haven't had time yet.
Yeah, but I sent the commercial. That's the only part you really need to listen
Oh
to.
God, I still haven't even got time to listen to that yet. Even I was at
Not
the
you, Beardos.
seminar
You have to
all day.
listen to the whole thing.
You listen to the whole episode. You booty boys.
Dirty birdie.
boys.
You dirty birdie.
Though
You're
I
gonna
will
listen
say-
to the whole cock-a-doodie episode.
I'm gonna make you sit down and watch White Christmas.
I want you to know, when you started talking about White Christmas, my brain started going through my Rolodex of films that I know, and it was spinning real fucking fast in my head, and I was like, White Christmas, White Christmas, White Christmas. And I'm not like a Christmas movie person, like, to start with, but I kept thinking, like, is that the Tim Allen one? No, that's not the Tim Allen one. And finally, my brain landed on, I was like, oh, it's that old-ass one with the angel getting its wings. That's what he's talking about. Does he know any movies that are, like,
It's also not that
after
one.
the 1990s?
That's
Oh, which one is it? I don't know. Well, I guess I'm wrong on that account, too, because that's the one I thought it was.
I was like, that's
That's-
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Well,
where
then
the guy
shit.
comes
Okay,
back.
that's even older.
Okay. Well, then
White
you get a
Christmas-
little credit, then.
White Christmas was 1954.
So it was Jay's acting debut.
Yeah, it was my first film I was in. There's a lot of deep-seated racism hidden in it that over the years I've been like, oh my God, like,
Yeah,
what
hidden.
is wrong with this movie?
Of course.
But there's one spot where they're like, "Oh, our brother's out of town or out of the country in Alaska," and I was just like, "The fuck?" And then I'm like, "Oh my god, Alaska didn't become a state until 59. This film is older than Alaska to this country."
Oh my god.
But anyways, that's Christmas time, not September.
But I will say, in the vein of movies, this is becoming my favorite time of year because movies and TV start getting substantially spookier.
I was going to mention that too, but it's weird too because you'll see horror movies being released like all throughout the year, not just around this time of year.
You have to. It's not. It's weird, but at the same time, you are still more likely to get more of a box office draw at different times of the year, even for horror films.
Horror films.
It's still it's still more advantageous to release them at different times. You'll still see horror movies come out. Obviously, that's going to happen. But the blockbuster horror, they're not going to schedule it around Halloween. They might schedule it around a holiday if it's holiday adjacent, like how Thanksgiving came out around Thanksgiving last year. But,
that's true.
You know, it's just. But you will get more horror TV, and that's where the bread and butter is, because this year we got Agatha All Along, which just started streaming last week. It's really fucking good. 2 episodes in, but I got to tell you guys, I'm in love with it. Jay, what do you think so far? You got 2 episodes?
I like it.
Oh my god. Have you been having the Ballad of the Witch's Road stuck in your head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help that the few times that I can get on TikTok lately that it keeps popping up on my TikTok too. And so it's just like, I don't know, embedding it deeper. It's like songs like that are like acid. They drip on top of my head and they just sink into my brain and they stay in there and I can't get them out. And then out of the blue, I'll just be like, "It was Agatha all along."
You at work during a review. It wasn't me. It was Agatha all along.
Who messed this IT stuff up? It was Agatha all along.
And your boss is like, "No, Jay, it was you. I have documentation. You are in fact fired. This is very serious. You may have criminal charges brought up against you." Yeah, and I'm just like petting the dog, and then I throw it down like. And you're like, "Agatha all along." And like, people are dead, Jay.
Then he throws on a wig and a hat and jumps out the window. Yeah.
Thank God HR's on floor 2. I might actually survive that one.
Yeah.
So I can continue running off with my hat and wig.
Limping because your bone, like your ankle broke when you landed. Ow.
The CEO comes out with a gun, and I'm like, "Oh God, my leg!" And then we can now go into our movie tropes.
You turn back and you're like, "Oh no, don't pump a dry hole."
You got to do a location exception on that first.
Have you filled out the
too
proper
technical
paperwork?
for you?
Whoa, ooh, it's even spicier.
But I think Hulu also has a TV show that Ryan Murphy is making that is not American Horror Story for once in his fucking career, called Grotesquerie. So that is coming out.
It's just rebranding American Horror Story.
Well, let's not get too hasty, because also another season of American Horror Stories is landing, which is the anthology season that they run.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I haven't been keeping up with those like I used to.
No, I haven't either, because it's just another season of 2 gay men kissing, or 2 men that aren't gay kissing. And
not
then
the most recent season of American Horror Story. That one was all about a Kardashian of some sort, and I think a child? I don't know, I didn't get all the way through it.
Right.
I don't even know if I never started it. I just saw clips of it.
It was alright.
Yeah.
Wasn't scary.
Was there backshots on that show?
Oh, there's some back shots, all right.
Ow!
Come.
Right.
Jizz.
Semen? But I
enough
mean,
about September.
if that was the goal of September, I have failed miserably.
Oh, you haven't been faux shizzling your nizzle with
I
jizzle?
I have not shizzled my nizzle with any jizzle. It's been a little light-izzle.
I think it's Joe's stare that just made me enjoy that one so much.
Man, I thought I had an episode title already, but that might just that.
Oh, did I win it with faux shizzle? Your nizzle with jizzle?
Okay, just kidding. Never
Let me
mind.
just write it down.
You know what? I hate it. I hate
hearing it a
'cause he said
second
it
time.
twice.
Yeah, the first
Hearing
time
it a second
was
time
great.
is like when you first drive your car off the lot and it depreciates in value by half. That was like that joke.
Or it's like getting in your car, driving it off, and then everything falls apart like in, funny films. You're just like, oh, this car's great. And then you pull out and it's like,
Or it's
We
like
just
buying
paid it off. The door falls off.
It's like buying a car at night, and then the next day you see it in the sunlight, and you're like, wait a second.
or it's like that time that I took a car that I just bought 2 weeks earlier to a car wash, and all it needed was washed, and then there was a bunch of dirt or something trapped in the brushes, and it scratched up my clear coat like crazy. So then my car came out ugly.
Oh, damn. This sounds real. This sounds less hypothetical than the other situation.
It was my Honda Accord back in the day.
Oh, well, that's nothing.
Back in 1954.
Back
When they first
debut.
invented the Accord, back in the
Back when
day.
when they first invented cars.
God. But this is also the season of fall foods, and I gotta tell you, I know we talk about food all the time on here, but that's just what you guys are gonna fucking get because I love fall
Yep.
foods. I've been so stoked about fall foods. I've been craving chili for like a week now.
I've been
Well-
craving tomato soup and grilled cheese.
Well, Anthony said we talk about food all the time, and the last time I checked, it is still time. So let's talk about some food.
Correct, yes.
Oh God, I'm so hungry
Comfort
right
food,
now.
honey. Comfort food is my favorite category.
That's why I've been asking you about picking up hamburger joes, because I really want to make chili. Because I've been craving like Frito chili pie, which I guess is a Midwestern thing. I didn't realize that. I thought that was an everywhere thing.
I've been craving goulash and chili mac.
Oh, also goulash has been like in the back of my head for probably 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been craving some fall foods like soup.
I've also been looking forward to these specific chicken pot pies. And they're from a place here in Oklahoma City called Pie Junkie. And
seen them.
Pie Junkie, Pie Junkie's a place that you can go in and order like slices of pie or order full pies. They're a place that you can pre-order holiday pies, and they sell out all the time. Like, it's a big deal here. They also pre-make a bunch of pot pies and casseroles that you can buy from their freezer, and they're so delicious. You can buy personal-sized ones or family-sized ones, and they're so delicious.
I feel like the problem we run into with places like that around Tulsa is that whenever they do stuff like that, the prices on those individual casseroles or pies are so fucking exorbitant.
I'm not gonna say that you walk in and go, look, $2.99. It's not that. It is.
I'm not thinking
it is
it's
something
gonna
that
be
I buy
that,
like. It's something that I buy like 2 or 3 of, stock in my freezer for the wintertime.
See, we just get chicken pot pie from Costco instead because it's
it's
big
so
and
good.
it's like $20.
Big
It's
and
delicious.
thick.
Yeah, and you can eat on it for like at least 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where I don't know if Costco's quite worth it for me because I'm not buying. I'm gonna keep the card, but I'm not buying as much food because I've now lost 2 times an absorbent amount of food that's been in my fridge and freezer because of a fridge dying or an ice storm knocking it out, and I'm tired of losing a lot of food.
It's fair. It's fair.
So I'm just like, I'm going to buy very little at once. I'll be that guy that's not stocked and prepared for a winter storm, running out to buy milk and bread last second.
But you gotta get the bread and milk, Jay.
No! What am I going to do? If anything, I'll just like walk down to whatever restaurant's near me and eat from there.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're like downtown now, and you can just.
I'm
walk
downtown
places.
now. My house is still not, or my apartment's still not fully ready, as I'm sure you can see behind me. But we're getting there.
On top of pot pies, though, and chili, and just like I love soups as well, obviously stews. But you know what I fucking love during this time of year? Pot roast.
You know what's wild? I do not go crazy for that one, but every so often I appreciate it.
Really? I love a pot roast.
We had it a lot as a kid. Mom did a lot of pot roast, and it kind of... I didn't really enjoy it back then, and so as an adult, I like the flavor of it, but it has that negative nostalgia as a kid that I don't really crave it.
I could see that. I like to, like, I feel like it's one of those foods that you can sort of prep for a couple of days as far as seasoning the roast itself is concerned and letting it get nice and brined. And then you slow cook it the day of, and your house smells amazing when you get there. It smells very herby. It smells like the broth that's in there. It's just, ugh. And all of the veggies have been cooking in the juices. And, ugh. So
You know, and I stopped making it in the crock pot, and I now do it in my Dutch oven. I sear it in there and then bake it that way, and it's been my
Nice.
favorite pot roast so far.
Really?
With a
I
little
might
red
have to try
wine in
that.
it.
Yeah, I might
Well,
have to try
and
that.
you know, for those of you who are listening and not watching, Jay's dinner just arrived. He's just gotten a fresh cat from Springfield's finest establishment, and he's about to chow down.
They're
He's
eating
He's
They're
eating
eating?
pussy on camera for the first time
right
ever.
now. Right now. You guys, we have officially become X-rated.
This cat, she's so silly. They are slowly adjusting to this move. They've never
I
left
was
my
gonna
house
say.
in their entire life, so...
Well, at least they're not inside-outside cats, so they're not really used to going out.
So that was the reason I landed on I can do an apartment now, is because the cats, one, never go outside, and two, Reggie cannot do anything outside without me being with him. And so I was like, fuck it. I have to always be out there, so
Might as well, yeah.
it won't matter. And so now I actually enjoy it because I need all the walking I can get, so...
Well, and he's a smaller dog, too, so it's not too bad on
Yeah,
him.
it makes it a lot
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
He can get exercise in the apartment,
Yes.
even if it makes you hate him.
Yes. And I hate them always. No, I'm kidding. But speaking of, I'm loving these walks in this weather.
Oh my
now that we
God, I
finally
know.
have 70-degree highs.
I wanted to go hiking the other day, but it was just after it rained, and so I was like, well, it's gonna be muddy, and you don't really want to go fuck up the trails whenever it's muddy out.
Yeah.
But otherwise, walking in the weather, oh my God, driving with windows down, ooh.
Oh. Yes. I love it so much. And these crisp mornings, I'm taking Reggie out. Oh, God. This is the time of year I love so much. Right
Yeah,
when
I'm
this
looking
weather
forward at the
hits.
forecast right now, and I mean, it kind of varies, and then like the first week of October, it's like 81, 83, but then there's a 77 in there, so I think as we go into October, we'll see some more of that normalcy
Oops,
finally
wrong
creeping into our existence.
Thank God, I'm so ready to get to like regularly under 80. Because
I
I
want to
feel
be
like
able
that's
to
my
open the
threshold.
windows at night.
Yes, please, bitch. Oh my God.
Oh man, that definitely love that time of year where in the mornings I can open the windows, and so you get that fresh, crisp is what I was trying to say, crisp air that comes through your window. Oh, and it's all dewy out, and
I wanted to
I'm
ask
wet.
Jay, with your new apartment and your new lifestyle, so I guess you're not going to Crest or Target as often, or is that you just go after work now?
I haven't really had the opportunity to go. I've still been hitting Crest while I'm out there in Yukon. I've been hitting Crest, picking up some stuff on my way home. But I've been so busy that all I've done is snack at work for lunch. And at dinner time, I'm having to meet people. And so I've just been eating out every dinner. And so I'm off of my normal schedule of needing food at all.
What's your house set at right now? Is it like 90? Is it just off?
I put it at 75.
Okay.
Which is
That way-
basically 90.
Yeah, which it's hotter than I prefer, but it's also not like cooling the house too hard, and my
Yeah, it'll
electric
keep
bill's
everything,
dropping
like-
substantially. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah, it'll keep everything like, not like from melting, want to say per se, but like it'll keep everything, manageable in there.
yeah.
later
I want to
on.
keep everything running so the house, feels fine, because I need to really get it listed here in a second. I intended to do it this week, but I have been kind of pushing myself really hard lately, and I was kind of reaching a point of insanity. And so I was like, I'm going to take a week for me, which isn't working out that well. I'm still busy this week, but I'm not stressing about the house as much. So hopefully next week I have it listed.
Nice.
Nice. Good for you for taking the time.
Yeah, I told myself you shouldn't, and then I'm like, I think you have to. So,
Yeah. You don't want to like drown yourself and stuff.
yeah, I stopped pressuring myself this week to really be overwhelmed, because last week and the week before I really, really kind of pushed myself to a limit.
Sorry, Ricky
hear
just
him in
walked
there.
in here. I know he's making all kinds of noise in here. And he's walking in with this donut on his person, and he's running into shit. Like
He's
he
trying to
doesn't
get it to
know.
fall off.
I know what he wants, but anyways. But that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and I feel like shit. What was I about to say? Oh, I was going to say, I feel like your house will sell pretty quickly, especially given like this is a good time of year to go look at houses because people are okay with going outside, but
Yep.
it's not so cold that they don't want to like, they don't have to avoid things like that, but it's not so blazingly fucking hot that going outside feels like melting your face off. So between
Yeah.
that and the housing market right now, also interest rates just dropped. So
Although it technically made housing rates go up temporarily, because there's always a trend there where everyone's applying at once, so they raise the rates to, suck as much money as they can before they really drop them.
because they have parasitic, business habits, and we don't regulate any of that. But,
Because of greed.
but that's not what September is about.
Is it not?
Yeah, I don't want to get too sad in this episode. I can spiral real quick.
Oh, this... I should... Okay, so I need to order new scents for my Airwick plugins. Jesus, somebody in the parking garage just...
I
smoked
heard
their tires.
that.
I thought
I
someone
actually
just died
factually
outside your
heard that.
building.
Yeah.
Hopefully they didn't smash into my car.
Jesus.
But anyways, this is
City
the
boy.
time of year I like to switch into like that cinnamon crisp apple smell, because I love cinnamon.
Yeah, that's a good point. That I think fall scents are my favorite scents.
Fall scents are
and winter.
100%. Fall winter scents by far are my favorite. Spring, don't get me wrong, I like florals, but I like natural floral scents. Like I enjoy the smell of real flowers. I don't enjoy the scent of fake flowers as much.
The only thing I don't like about spring scents is that they remind me that summer's coming.
Summer is
true.
coming.
Ugh.
We should make a reverse Game of Thrones where they're like, summer is coming, and we hate it.
There are those people out there that are like, I love the summer, I love the sun, I love all the heat. And I'm just like, are you insane? I hate being hot.
I
would
love
be-
going outside and my skin melting the fuck off and being sweaty as balls.
I
all
love the
day.
back of my shirt constantly being wet.
My underwear being tucked up inside my ass crack. There's a whole gallon of sweat inside of them.
All I can think of right now is that clip of it's that infomercial with what's her name, the redheaded woman that does copper pans and all, Kathy, the Kathy ones where she has like her casserole dish and she opens it and somebody voiced over it and she's like, I love the musty smell of it, something whatever, and she's like, and that's just, I imagine the must down there during the summer. I'm gross.
I feel like only you
Try.
would expect us to know Kathy by saying, who is she, that redheaded woman? Oh, okay, not Jessica Chastain, not
Okay.
Bryce Dallas Howard, not Nicole Kidman.
But I said,
it
hold
was
on.
Kathy the whole
Hold
time.
on. I said infomercial with
I
the
still
redheaded
do not
woman.
care. I do
And
not care.
I was more leaning on Joe because Joe's kind of my infomercial guy that gets what I'm doing here.
So I went more the route of office potluck, and I thought you meant Kathy, like, from the comics. And I thought you meant, like, she opened the casserole at the work potluck, and someone else was like, ew, what the hell is that? And she was like, ack, it's my pussy, or something. I don't know.
Oh my god. Oh, well, we all three go down different routes.
meant-
Anthony goes
you
down none, but you and I at least have something.
So you meant
I'm down
Kathy.
a
What the
route.
hell's her last name from the Dumb Cakes? Kathy.
I always
What's
just
her
knew it
last
as
name?
Kathy.
Just Kathy. I didn't know she had a last name.
dump.
I thought she popped out just being Kathy. Like, they just spawned her out of the vat, and that was
Kathy
her.
Mitchell.
Oh,
Sure.
it was Kathy Mitchell. And she popped out exactly that age and that face. Like, she never was a child. She was just immediately this older woman with red curly hair.
Every time I see one of those like dubs of her commercial, I know it's not you, Jay, but it sounds so close to like your voice and timbre that you do when you're making fun of that character that I think like either you just embedded it into your persona or like they somehow found you, listened to you, and made that voice from AI because it sounds just like you.
I think they inspired me. So like over time, my brain and my abilities have just morphed into that. I am dubbed Kathy.
You've got that dubbed character like pocket character in your mind where it's like as soon as you see something black and white, it's just your brain's just like gotta talk like this. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Frankish food.
Oh, guys, food, pumpkin pie.
Wait, we should probably go to a quick break before we go back into food.
Yes, before
Agreed.
we
Oh my God, we better, yeah.
Before we so tantalizingly move into October, let's go ahead and take a quick break.
Hey listeners, are you ready to add some spice to your wardrobe? Check out hunkytops.com, the queer, Latino-owned clothing site that brings you the hottest styles. And here's an exclusive deal just for you, listeners. Get 10% off your first order with the code SUNDRIES. That's right, 10% off when you use the code SUNDRIES at checkout. They do offer sizes above 3XL. Just hit the contact button and request a larger size and they'll accommodate the best they can. So, what are you waiting for? Visit hunkytops.com today. Explore their amazing styles and wear your pride with confidence. hunkytops.com. Wear your pride, live your style. Remember, hunkytops.com. Use code SUNDRIES for 10% off your first order. Order now!
You're listening to the Beards and Sundries podcast, the news source that's still rated 5 out of 6 balls. Pumpkin pie.
October.
Horror, everything. See, that was my thing. I didn't know we were planning on doing that. I would have written something down.
Here, I'll do one for you, Anthony. Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs. Although that is closer to Thanksgiving for me.
I made some last
Oh.
week, speaking of, for a little work potluck, and they came out
Right.
pretty delicious.
Oh my god. We got this new place in Tulsa called Clark's Crew Barbecue.
Oh, yeah, we have that here.
And
Yep, they are from Oklahoma City.
somebody tried, one of Joe's friends or coworkers tried the deviled
Yeah.
eggs there and said they taste like they have Miracle Whip in them.
She said they were a
Miracle
little
Whip.
sweeter, but not like a relish sweet, like a sweet sweet. And I was like, the only thing I could think of was like they're using Miracle Whip instead of mayonnaise.
No, you add sugar.
Oh,
I
you
do that
add
in my
sugar?
recipe.
Gay.
I have 2 recipes I use, and one of them has
Wow.
sugar in it.
the one I use is usually just the regular mustard, mayo, egg yolk, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I was
don't
like,
usually
we're
use
using
relish.
recipes? Boys, I just pour that shit into a bowl and I just mix
Eyeball
stuff in
it.
there until it tastes good. Like,
Well,
I've got
I-
my general idea of things.
I was gonna say I shouldn't say I have 2 directions I go. One is the sweeter version, which is good, and then one I do a spicier version where I do like Cholula with sweet relish and stuff like that in it.
Yeah, you're overcomplicating it.
No, because it still comes out delicious without being way too.
Nah,
you
it's
know,
too much.
You know when
It's
you go to
already too much.
restaurants and get these like eggs that are full of stuff, and
Yes.
you're like, no, I don't want that. I want simplified. This is my version that's got a different kick to it that's still simplified.
Okay. I mean, it sounds gay as hell, but whatever.
Well, so do you. You listen to our show.
Well, I've got good news for you. He is still gay as hell.
Still gay as hell. But then there's Halloween coming up, and we're actually going to a Halloween party this year, so I've got to get a costume.
You know, and it's college sports season, and while I'm not a huge sports fan, I fucking do enjoy, like, not going to actual games, but going to people's houses, having watch parties where we're eating, drinking, and probably not paying attention to the game, but just talking. Love
Right.
that. Mm-hmm. But when the game's really good near the end, then I
Yes.
love it.
That's why I love a football party, because there's good food, there's good conversation, either if the game's going good or bad, depending on the company, and it's at usually someone else's house, so I don't have to worry about cleaning up.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to go to one.
Yeah.
I do like a tailgate.
It's mostly
Tailgate's
the
always
food.
fun.
I'm there for the food and the beer.
I'm a
I
food person for it, yeah, for sure.
I'm also a college football fan, so I have a good time anyway.
So a few
I do too,
years,
if it's a good game.
So every now and again, Joe and I get to go to Oklahoma State games via friend invites to the suites that are there.
Love that.
Yeah.
And they have like these big buffets. They're not serve yourself buffets, but they're like these buffets that you can go get like all kinds of stuff from on the suite floor. Oh my God. Ultimate.
And like candy and ice cream and like
Yep.
drinks and stuff, all kinds of great stuff up there.
Yeah.
And a great view of the game.
And the nice thing is the suites you do, it's sort of like a BYOB situation. So the suite
Yeah.
holders bring their own liquors up there to have it stocked. And so you can bring whatever you want.
I knew a girl who worked at one back when we lived in Stillwater. This was like 2011, and she got a gig working at one of them as like the suite like server or caretaker or whatever. And at the end of the season, all the alcohol that was left over, the suite holders just gave it to her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I guess that's because
it
you
was
get
a
that
good
sweet
amount.
money, and it just makes more sense to just buy new alcohol rather than keeping your old because you got that
Rather
sweet
than
money.
Well, and then you don't have to go up to the suite level of the stadium on an off day.
Oh gosh,
Go
how
get all your
inconvenient!
alcohol
How
and put it
terrible
back
that
down
I have
into
to
your
go up to
loaded
my own
Escalade
suite that I pay for.
and bring it back down to my bright orange Jeep Wrangler Unlimited loaded that I have
Oh my
because I'm
God.
an OSU obsessed fan that can't let go of the fact that I went to OSU.
That is definitely one thing. Is I just don't understand that obsession with something so much that you have to buy cars and all that. That I just don't get it.
It's money.
It's people looking for a personality. They're trying
Right.
to find
Yeah.
something to reflect their interests. They can snatch onto it and they run with it, and it's very one-dimensional. And I mean, I'm
You
not
know-
here to judge necessarily, but it's a little hokey.
You
Yeah,
know old high school football players who become football coaches? High school
It's like that,
football
yeah.
coaches? It's like that.
That's true. It's that was my glory time. That's when I felt, powerful and like a man, and I'm gonna keep going with that
And
because
I'm
it's
never
the only
going to
thing
move
I
on from
can
that
do.
in any way, shape, or form.
And
Yes.
I just maybe I'm being ignorant or not self-evaluating myself, but I just don't feel like I latch onto something like that. And
Maybe I'd be
in any
happier
form.
if I picked something a little more mundane to define myself.
Well, I also think that it's part of a lot of people that live in a college town still, like a lot of people that live in Stillwater still that are older, their obsession is, justified because they're
Yeah.
at ground zero. They're in a college town where the college is, so their
Yeah.
obsession is justified. And that's because you see a lot more of that regalia, all that stuff driving around all the time because it's normal as
When
day-to-day
you
life
can
over
go
there.
participate in all of the events, like you can go to homecoming
Yeah.
every year, you can do walk around, you can go to the
And-
football
yeah.
games, you can
And
go
no
to
one
the
bats an
wrestling
eye.
matches. Like it's just the culture inside of a college town is very different from a culture outside of a college town.
Yeah. Especially in October.
Ooh,
That's
yeah,
true.
during football season, whole different thing. Got that
'Cause that's
living
when
in Stillwater
football-
for that long and going through so many different football seasons. Oh my God, the town just fucking changes for about 5 months.
It's the same in Morgantown. The entire city revolves around that school.
Yep, you will everything.
The population doubles
you
when
do,
the students are in session.
Yeah, everything you do in town hinges on whether or not it's a home game, an away game. If it's an away game, that's the perfect time to go shop because people will be at their houses watching the game on television. They'll be at watch
Yeah.
parties. They'll be at
Or they'll be at the game.
or they'll be at
Away.
the game. Yeah. So that is the best time to go shopping when you're in Stillwater. That was one of my favorite times to go shopping. If I wasn't doing anything for the game, I mean, hell, that's the best time because nobody's at the store.
Yeah.
You start to plan your life around it, and it's especially like the when students
Move-in
come
weekend.
back. Oh, fuck!
Don't
that.
even leave the house.
I just don't. I went to work and I went home, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because fuck the rest of that.
I'm so ready for somebody I know to host a football watch party with food. That's all I care about right now.
I want
And-
deviled eggs.
We're at the point in our lives, I think, Anthony, where even if it was like an OU party or like a school that I don't like, depending on the party and the people that are there and the food, I'll root for anyone. I don't fucking care.
I'm gonna go, and I'm going to very
I'll watch football and I'll eat pigs in a
nonchalantly
blanket.
allude to the fact that I don't really care for whatever's happening if I don't care for either of the teams on there, but I will eat your food.
I remember when we first moved to Tulsa after I'd worked with the college at OSU for a couple years and we still lived there. And then I moved here and someone was like, "Whoa, Oklahoma State's playing West Virginia. How do you feel about it?" And I said, "Oklahoma State doesn't sign my paychecks anymore. I don't give a shit."
Yeah, that does kind of drive me crazy because for a little while when we moved away from Stillwater, because I was following college football until we moved, and for like a year or two after, I still followed it, but then I sort of broke off of it because I never cared for it before I got out of high school, and then I sort of got into it later.
There wasn't really a reason to.
It just wasn't my thing. And so being away from Stillwater, I had less of a reason to keep track of it. And then our neighbor would always be like, "Oh, what do you think about them Cowboys this year? I think blah, 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 this player. And I would be like, yeah, that person, it probably exists. And you're probably not lying to me. It sounds like you know what you're talking about.
I will say, while I enjoy going to these watch parties, and when the game is good, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy getting involved. I do not enjoy going to work and going anywhere. And if I wear any shirt that says OSU in any form, I hate the small talk that always has to come with it. How about that game this year? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know who's playing. I don't know their names. I do not know any of the players' names.
Well, so Joe and I have plenty of OSU, WVU, and TU apparel. And specifically polos, because Joe has done coaching for both TU and for OSU. And so I like to wear a polo to work, and sometimes it's an OSU or a TU polo, because those polos are cute. They just happen to also have the logo on there.
And they were free.
Well, and they're super comfy, and I think that's what I really love about them, is they're so comfy.
They're official collegiate polos. They're like $60 when they were being sold.
And people will ask me about it, and I'm just like, I don't know. Someone asked me, they're like, "Oh, did you go to TU?" And I was like, "No."
Someone asked me that one time when I was wearing one at work, and I said, "No, I live here."
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of question is that?
I'll never forget when I was on the elevator at work wearing an OSU polo, and somebody got on the elevator with me, and they were like, "Oh, man, are you excited for this weekend's game?" And I was like, "What? What the fuck? Oh." And I was like, "Sure, I guess."
Yeah, I'm so stoked. Yeah.
There was a girl at a place I worked at here, and I used to have a car that had a flying WV on the back, and it's the symbol of West Virginia University, but it was all in white because I had a white car. And this girl at work, 5 months after I came up to her, after she found out where my car was, she was like, "Oh, I thought it was the Wonder Woman logo." And then I thought about it, and I looked at it, I was like, you know what?
A little bit.
They look remarkably similar.
They're pretty close. Yeah, I can see that.
I never thought about it, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, I get it.
Well, do you guys think that we should probably go to a commercial and then come back? Because this is the third week in a row we have successfully been almost an hour into this conversation when we get to the commercial.
Well, sorry, we enjoy ourselves so much.
No, it's going great.
And Beardos, we want to hear what you enjoy. Let us know what things you're looking forward to about October and fall in general. Email us, beardsandsundries@gmail.com. Call and leave us a voicemail. That number is 405-999-2242.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, the Starbucks Special Season Latte, the faux shizzle yo nizzle with jizzle.
Hello, I'm Martha the Stewardess. You might recognize me from my Home and Garden Network show, or Prison. And I've partnered up with my favorite friend and all-time famous rapper, Sneaky Dog. Hello, I'm rapper Sneaky Dog. You may know me from many of my famous rap albums and Prison. And we've partnered with Starbucks this year to bring out our favorite seasonal latte, made with organic nut milk that you'll never need to buy store-bought, because homemade is always fine. That's right, I discovered this fantastic latte when I was smelling the aroma of fresh hot coffee, and it made me feel almost euphoric. So euphoric, I orgasmed, and that's how this latte was discovered. I tasted the rich, nutty taste of this latte and said, oh my, this is perfect. This is no single recipe for success, but there is one essential ingredient: jizz. That's right, this month's latte is the faux shizzle, your nizzle with jizzle. And I love a good jizzle. So head on down to your local Starbucks and say Martha Stewardess and Sneaky Dog want you to faux shizzle your nizzle with jizzle today. Do it, or we'll shank you. You know we both can.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
You know, I've always been looking forward to getting my caramel salted a different way than usual, so the jizzle really does take it over the top.
I hear there's a lot of cream in there. And I hear it only comes with nut milk. You can't get it any other way.
Are oats a nut? No, I'm kidding.
You can feel your oats, but you can't put oat milk in the faux shizzle yo nizzle with jizzle.
You know what's interesting, too? When you're drinking the latte, the cup it comes in, you can feel the cup pulsing.
It feels a little weird because they have the option to pour it onto your back directly from the window.
You can have them just throw the latte on your face.
Oh my god, you guys are gross. I was just going to say something about a Martha Stewart collaboration cup. You guys are awful.
It's the only Starbucks latte you can also get in the Midtown Adult Theater.
Something about pumps. I don't know. There's a pumps joke in there somewhere.
It's just
Syrup.
pumps of oat milk.
It
Oat
sure
milk.
is.
Nut milk, sorry. No, sorry,
Nut
sorry,
milk.
everybody. Sorry.
Nut.
Nut.
That button.
Nut.
Nut.
Oh, God. But don't ask for the P. Diddy special.
Oh god, Jay, do we have any Beardo submitted sundries?
Unfortunately, no. It's been a very quiet week.
Oh, shit, really?
Oh, actually,
Oh, shizzle.
Jizzle with jizzle.
Let me check Apple Podcasts. I keep forgetting to check that timely and see if anybody left anything for our nizzles. No, nothing in our nizzle. No jizzle.
I guess we'll have to do a grind my gears this episode.
Grind my nizzle.
Well, then.
I'm sorry you guys hate us so much that you can't
Yeah,
message us.
seriously. I was allotting time for this. I guess I should have asked before we started recording.
Well, I actually forgot to even check until you were talking about the commercial. And I was like, oh, fuck, I haven't even checked user content. It's been a very hectic couple weeks.
That's fair. You've been very busy. Well, since we don't have any Beardo submitted sundries, since you guys hate us, I'm sorry the episodes aren't always out at midnight on Sundays. Sometimes I'm busy. But
Have you met us? We're busy boys.
busy. I had stuff going on.
You busy boy.
busy boy.
You dirty, busy birdie.
You dirty boy.
Jesus Christ. But I hear, in addition to my something to check out, that Joe also has something to check out. Is that true?
That's right. I have something that kind of led us to look at a book talking about Snoop Dogg and the like. I found one of, not his cookbook essentially, but I found another book called Trap Kitchen, Mackin' All Over the World, Bangin' Mac and Cheese Recipes from All Around the World. This is a book by Malachi Jenkins, Roberto Smith, and it features a foreword by Snoop Dogg himself. And so this says, according to its summary here, that this is 50 unique, globally inspired mac and cheese recipes, ideal for college students, culinary enthusiasts, and those seeking quick, affordable gourmet comfort food. Crafted by seasoned chefs, this cookbook blends traditional cheese-rich dishes with international flair, making it a kitchen staple. A perfect gift for food lovers and adventurous cooks, it transforms classic mac and cheese into a global gastronomic journey accessible to all skill levels. Whether you're a fan of pasta or pizza, this cookbook has something for everyone.
I'm a little annoyed because, well, I'm old. And when you said all around the world, I now cannot get, which I'll be baffled if you guys know what I'm going to talk about here, but the song All Around the World, same song
la, la,
from
la,
Digital
la.
Underground.
La, la, la,
It's
la.
all around the world, same song. It's from like 1990.
Oh.
Of course.
I was
1990,
thinking
when you were
that
releasing your
one-
fifth studio album.
I was thinking that Sugar Ray lyric that's all around the world, statues crumble for me.
Joe, it's releasing my fifth album of greatest hits because I'm like been around
From the
for so long.
1890s.
Yeah,
Technically, Beardos, anyone can have a greatest
it's a
hits
Gregorian
album.
chant.
Even if your hits are real bad, they're still the greatest that you made.
That's true. You can always have a greatest hits, even if you're an awful
Even if
awful
you're
singer.
really, really bad at being a singer, even if you're not singing at all, it can still be your greatest hits, just you chit-chatting with yourself. Who knows?
You know, we could have a Beards and Sundries greatest hits.
Ooh.
It's
What do you
just
mean
Jay.
greatest? We don't even have 4.
We don't even have a hit.
I'll start singing more.
But if you're looking for a fun cookbook, check that one out. But, Anthony, do you also have something to check out this week?
I do also have something to check out this week. My something to check out is decidedly less food related and a lot more horror related, and it is the Creepy Podcast, is what it's called. It is. Fuck you.
It's
It's
not
my
about
season.
pasta. It's not the Creepy Pasta podcast.
It actually is, funny enough, that is how it got started, is it was adapting creepypastas into stories in an audio format. John Grills, the lead writer and narrator, adapts these creepypastas into audio format for the podcast, but he also accepts submissions. And it's become this whole production, and it's really good. If I'm not listening to the No Sleep podcast for horror, I listen to Creepy. Also, John Grills has this very distinct voice. And when he opens the pod, he's always like, now this is creepy. And it's just so good. And it's fun to listen
And
to.
that's the rest of the story.
He's better at it than I am, obviously, practiced. But it's really well produced. The narration's great. The story selection's great. They have a sound engineer on staff, and so they do have. You don't ever really think about it as much with horror, but the scoring of horror is really important to horror films and TV shows and audio stories. And so when you have somebody like a musician on staff to score the podcast episodes, whenever they are story formatted like that, it's really, really intense and it's really good. It's just all around a great podcast.
Nice.
All around the world, sing
Yeah.
song.
So go check it out at creepypod.com.
And you said it was inspired by Creepy Pasta?
Some of them are, yeah. A lot of them are inspired by creepypastas.
So it is about food. Haha.
I think I hear the music coming back on.
Nope, that's just you going deaf after Joe blew a horn in his microphone.
After the cha-ching.
Well, thank God we didn't have to do that this week since nobody sent us any user-submitted content. Well then, since we don't have any Beardos-submitted sundries, but we do still have a little time to kill, do you guys have anything that's been grinding your gears this week that's been really bothering you?
The fact that it's not under 80 degrees every day yet. Ah, come on.
Don't give me the 70s, man.
The only reason it went down a couple days ago is because it rained. So that was great when it was cool out, but then that meant that I couldn't mow the grass when it was cool out because
Well-
the grass is wet.
I could repeat how annoying it is that Oklahoma roads don't have stripes when it rains.
That is true. This is the time of the year.
We do have kind of a monsoon season in Oklahoma in October.
We get more rain in October for sure.
The reason I know that is because every year I would dress up. Wow. I would decorate for Halloween outside, and I would do this really big spider web thing off my trees that connect to the house and the ground, and the fucking rain would ruin it every goddamn time. And then all of a sudden, like, Halloween's coming, and I have to go out there and fix everything because it's rained so much.
You know what pisses me off about September? School is back in session. You know that, other than just, I like that kids are in school, but what actually factually pisses me off is that I go into work at about 6:40 in the morning, and the Union School District bus, not plant, but where they keep all like the dispatch, like
the bus
motor
yard.
pool dispatch. Yeah, the bus yard. That's what it is on my way, and it's a 2-lane street, and those fucking drivers will pull out in front of you, make you slam on your brakes, just to get in front of you and get out on their fucking route. It is insane how ruthless they are about getting into traffic. It's wild. I've seen them cut people off. I saw them cut somebody off this morning.
When there's no kid, they'll just be like, fuck it. They're me.
Have you thought about going down Garnett?
I don't like going down Garnett because it is extra time.
Oh.
I have found that it's faster to go the other way, even though that does happen. But like, it is between the school buses pulling out in front of you and just being generally terrible, and the people in Tulsa who fucking suck at driving. So like the other day, I was on my way to work. We go through the 61st and 129 intersection. We're heading south, and when you get past that intersection, the road goes back to 2 lanes for just a second, just long enough for people who are like right turning and stuff to get back onto the road, just to allow traffic to keep flowing at the intersection. And then it goes back down to 2 lanes. But right before that happens, there's a fucking railroad crossing. And so the bus has to stop at the railroad crossing every time. Now, in their defense, they will get over into the right lane so that you can go around them, but Tulsans are fucking stupid, and they don't understand that just because the bus is stopped, that they don't have to stop. If that stop sign on the sign is not out, you can keep going.
Yep.
And I had to lay on my horn at this guy in front of me a few days ago about this, and he still didn't go because he was fucking stupid. That's the only thing I can imagine. It's the only reason I can think of that he didn't go, is because he was dropped on his head several times as a child, even though he was already dumb as hell.
They'll just give a driver's license to anybody.
Especially that guy.
I live 2 very small blocks away from a roundabout, and that roundabout is very busy, and a lot of people don't know how to use roundabouts in this state either. They're very, very stupid with them.
It's that just, oh god, yeah, I don't like school buses during this time of year. And then also, if I have to go in at the later hour, which is 8, at 7:45 every day on a weekday, there's a school bus that stops at an apartment complex over by 51st and 129, and it just sits there, and traffic gets stuck, and you have to wait for that asshole every fucking time. And I understand why that is, but it also irritates the shit out of me because it is yet another example of how we design our reality around the existence of children, and I just cannot stand it.
Take Corporate Woods.
I might. I
see how it
might
works out.
actually do that. If I have to go in late right now, I might do that, because I don't know if you've been down that road recently, but on 41st right now there's construction, and so they have
Because
the
they're
right
building that
lane
bank.
closed for a little bit. Is that what's going in there?
I think it's a bank.
I'm over it. I'm already over it because people already drive slow as hell down 41st, and they just like today I was on my way back home from Reese's, and we had to go 20, maybe 15 on 41st until I got to our turn. Like, it was just, it's nightmarish, and I cannot stand it. And it's just because it's this combination of kids being back in school, but also Tulsa drivers that also suck balls. I'll take any opportunity to complain about Tulsa drivers. They suck.
Well, Oklahoma City's not any better.
Well, that's just Oklahoma. Oklahoma sucks.
We are a terrible state.
Anyways,
But yes, Oklahoma does suck, but that means that the music is coming back on.
I do believe I hear the music coming back
Yay.
on, and it's Wake Me Up When September Ends, as sung by Jay Rowdy Bush.
I'll sing in the background.
Okay, please do. Keep singing
okay.
it right now.
Hold on.
No, I don't want the music. I just
no.
want you singing it, man. A cappella.
I know. I have to remember all the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So I'll sing it really quietly while you guys are talking.
Okay. But go call our hotline real quick and leave us a voicemail. That number is 405-999-2242. And leave us a voicemail to open our next episode with.
Like my father.
And Beardos. The shipment of pumpkin spice has arrived. So we have to go prepare to receive that load on our backs. If you'd like to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get a reminder every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any sundries that we add to the market.
Don't forget to rate us 5 out of 6 maple leaves and review. I don't know, a fall leaf. Anyways, those reviews are what get us found by more listeners like you. Also, if each one of you could share the podcast with a friend, that would double our growth.
When September ends. Go check out our social media. We've got some threads and TikTok too. Instagram and Facebook's there for you. Email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com or check out our website at beardsandsundries.com. And I think that's all I've got to say, so wake me up when September ends.
So from all of us here. Oh, I am so sorry, Beardos. My apologies. Not the fucking lighter. Get out of here. It's not even a real lighter. It's a picture of a lighter.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, that's over? Wait.
Yeah, that's...
So, from the three of us soup lovers here at the Beards and Sundries Market / News Network, make sure to...
Love yourself, because we already love you.
That was my line.
Well, I took it.
You fucking bastard.
Bye.
Bye, Beardos.
Wake us up at September's end.